your reading in nahawand? Are your patterns and so on good?
Yes, they're good. I just feel like it kind of gets repetitive after some time. Like I
Okay.
just kind of default to the same few patterns.
Okay.
Um, so yeah,
Read
trying
read
to
from anywhere that
expand
you've been
that.
practicing, and then if you want
Okay.
Baqarah, whatever you've been
Yeah,
practicing, just
I'll do Surah Isra.
okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير وآتينا موسى الكتاب وجعلناه هدى لبني إسرائيل ألا تتخذوا من دوني وكيلا ذرية من حملنا مع نوح إنه كان عبدا شكورا وقضينا إلى بني إسرائيل في الكتاب لتفسدن في الأرض مرتين ولتعلن علوا كبيرا فإذا جاء وعد أولاهما بعثنا عليكم عبادا لنا أولي بأس شديد فجاسوا خلال الديار وكان وعدا مفعولا
Okay.
ثم
So, Munib, do you have like another device like your phone handy that you can record yourself right now?
yeah, I'm at that.
Okay. Yeah. Read a few ayat because there's stuff that I want to point out to you, but I want you to hear it yourself.
Okay.
Because the reading is good. Now it's like tweaks, like similar stuff that we've done. I don't know if you ever had a chance to watch that Hijaz session where I kind of talked about doing more with Hijaz. It's a very similar idea, but let's do that.
Mhm.
Bismillah, read a little bit, but just record it, and then we'll play it back and listen to it.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
Ahsan. Okay, pause there. How would you grade your recitation? Not necessarily grade, but how would you assess it? Like, what are your thoughts?
So I guess one thing is I do tend to stay in the 1 to 5 range, which I feel
Okay.
like I've done with every maqam is it just stay in like a comfortable range for me, and I don't really
Okay.
try to go any higher than that. Um, I also
Does this
I
feel
think
repetitive as you said at the beginning?
not yet, but it
Okay.
will. Like when we
It will
recite
if
more,
you
it
kind
will.
of keep
Yeah,
going longer and longer. Okay.
yeah.
Overall, if you had to give it one word, what would you say?
Decent.
Decent. Okay. I would say it's
Okay.
good. It's good, right? Okay, so it's good. So I think like it's a useful starting place to start with that it's good. And then how do I get better? Because sometimes students miss
Yeah.
the it's good part and they kind of focus on what others are doing or how nahawand like sounds when other
Mm.
reciters do it, whatever. But let's play it back. So I think that's a good like you want to start with that baseline that it's good. Now, what are other things that see it's good because it's nahawand. If somebody was reading like this, like if I showed up for Maghrib and I had a busy day, whatever, and you were leading and you read like that would be a good reading. Like I would feel calm, I would feel peaceful. Like it's a very kind of like serene expression of the maqam, right?
Mm.
So even though you're, on the one hand you're thinking I'm keeping it between 1 to 5, like it also carries that feel. Like listen to it. Why don't you play it back first in full, and then we'll listen to it kind of like ayah by ayah. It's two ayahs, but like phrase by phrase.
Can you hear this? ثم
Yeah.
رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم
بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
Do you agree with my assessment?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like it's like it's pretty good, right?
Yeah,
You see, and sometimes students miss that because when you're trying to work on it, then you're trying to like pick not pick faults, but you're trying to like look at the stuff that could be improved, right?
yeah.
And there are stuff. So that's but overall it's good. Like it's a very kind of like calm, serene expression of nahawand, and it sounds good, right? Let's go back, play the first ayah by itself. What I want you to listen out for, rather than me telling you first, listen out for okay, listen to it and then try to think of what are like one or two things that I could do instead or in addition. Just the first ayah and then pause it.
Okay.
ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا.
Mm,
Okay, in
I don't know.
general,
I don't.
without okay, before we get
Yeah.
to specific places or specific things you can do, uh trying to think. If you had watched that thing, it would be good. But in general, if you're keeping it, so suppose you're keeping it in this like limited range and it feels a little bit like you're not doing too much. What's the opposite of that? What would you need to do like in a general descriptive kind of sense?
Just to get out of that range, like go a bit higher or
Okay.
go like up and down more, like more
Yes,
fluctuations.
precisely. So those are like your two kind of general descriptors. Like either you can go higher, so you're like expanding the range, right? Or
Mm,
even within like a limited range of 1 to 5, you could have more movement up and down in that range. Okay.
yeah.
Now go back, listen to the ayah again with those two things in mind, and now like put those concepts into like specific places. Even like one place. Just find one
ثم
place. Yeah.
رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا.
Okay, pause. What places to look for example, are like mudud, ghunnaz, for example, noon mushaddad, mim mushaddad. Those are typical places you can look for, like where you can almost like do patterns in those spaces,
Yeah. In my head, I
right?
was hearing like I could go on وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُمْ, maybe I could go like all the way down to the one. It's like وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا.
Ahsan. Okay, listen to it
So yeah.
again. So you got wa amdadnakum is one part of it, and then you did something else now that wasn't there in the reading. Listen to it again.
ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا.
I went back down to the one at the end.
Okay,
Is
it's
that
it's close to wa amdadnakum. So in there, in right now, when you did the version 2, you went down on wa amdadnakum, and because you went down, you had to come back
oh
up.
yeah, go back
So
up.
you came back up where in this in the version 2?
بأموال.
Bi
Uh,
amwali in the ghunna, right?
mm,
Bi amwali,
yeah.
which wasn't there. If you listen to it again, listen to bi amwali wa banina, you'll see that it's like you kept it flat.
وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين
Okay.
وجعلنا.
So sometimes it's like little small things like that that by itself don't amount to much, but in the reading it'll sound different. So now it would be
Yeah.
try it again with that. So وَأَمْدَدْنَاكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. And now it also sets you up for the 5. بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا.
وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا.
أحسنت. Now continue the audio.
أكثر نفيرا إن
Okay,
أحسنتم
pause.
أحسن.
So, what did you do right now in the version 2 versus how did you end the ayah?
In version 2, I went down to the 1, and this
Okay, and in this one, in the audio,
نفيرا.
mm, 2, number 2.
like you left it hanging and you continue downwards on in
Yeah.
ahsantum, right? So you said وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا إِنْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ أَحْسَنْتُمْ. So see how like it's almost like you're taking that down pattern and like stretching that out now. So the new ayah in ahsantum also continues going down. So it sounds, even if you're like, even if the whole thing was in 1 to 5, it's gonna sound kind of squished because I don't know, it's like, even if it's like the range is 1 to 5, because you drag it out, overall it sounds
Yeah.
flatter, right? As
Mm,
opposed to having more movement. So now in the version 2, if you bring it down, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرَ نَفِيرًا. What's something else you could do on in ahsantum? A different pattern.
like إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Or like the 1 5. Uh,
Mm.
Suppose we start with the 1 5. How would that sound? What would it like? How would you continue the progression?
إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها.
Okay. What's something else you could do there? So now
Uh,
think also in terms of uh the direction you're leaning in, right? So students will always at the beginning tend to lean downwards, right? And there's like a tug like kind of telling you that you need to come back down because it's safer,
yeah.
right? Which makes sense. You're gonna have to come back down anyways, but in ahsantum ahsantum li anfusikum. Okay? What's something else? Like it's a pattern on the list where we go 1 5, but it leans upwards. I don't know if you have the list with you. I can.
Yeah. Well, it's like إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم. Like just goes back to the
Ahsan.
5, right?
Ahsan. So it's like 1 5 4 3 4 5.
Mm.
Okay. And what that does, because it's leaning upwards, it changes the progression of the ayah. Go back and
Mm.
listen to your version, and then we'll come back to this 1 5 4 3 5 version.
إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
Ahsan, again, it's a good reading, but now see how so the play it again from in ahsantum, just the first part until li anfusikum wa in asatum falaha. I think you joined it.
إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها.
Okay, pause. Right. So now change that up. Try this.
إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم
Okay. Now how would that continue?
وإن أسأتم فلها.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe.
Close. It would continue like that. But instead of bringing it down, bring it back up.
وإن أسأتم فلها.
Perfect, perfect. So you see how that sounds very different than the first one. Join it together. So in ahsantum until wa in asabtum falaha.
إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها.
Now where does that take you? I mean, you have two choices. Either come down or
Yeah, probably
you can
down.
even go higher now, right? إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة. So now it kind of like, because you're pointing upwards, it gives you like the progression continues that you could continue going upwards. Whereas if you lean from the 5 down, you're gonna kind of want to continue down, and that'll be the net effect that like when you look at a bigger chunk, it's like you're in that range, but you're kind of like leaning downwards continuously. Right? Try the
Yeah.
ayah now again with this in mind. So فَإِذَا جَاءَ, just do whatever. You could do like 8, you could do 7. Doesn't really matter. Just kind of have fun with it.
Okay. إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد أولاهما
No, this one وعد
فإذا
الآخرة.
جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
أحسنت. Okay. Record it now so we can have like a before and after. But let's try. So you went فإذا جاء وعد. You went jump higher from فإذا. So try that. إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة. And then just see how it kind of progresses from there.
إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
Okay, أحسنت. That's good. How do you feel about that? Better?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now listen to the last part. Let's go وَلِيَدْخُلُ الْمَسْجِدَ. But listen to the version 2, like this one.
وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا كما دخلوه أول مرة وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
Okay. How would you describe the directionality of that phrase from وَلِيَدْخُلُ الْمَسْجِدَ until the end?
It's overall going down.
Overall going down. Okay. So what's something you can do in there to change that?
Just go back up and then down again.
Yeah. So you could go down, right? Go
Yeah.
down, but instead of, if this is your whole length, instead of going down till here, right? You had some movement in there anyways. It's not like just like flat, right? It's good. As I said, it's good overall. We're just trying to like add more. So if you're going from here and you're going like, a little bit like down, right? Maybe try more like down and then back up and down. So that might look like there's two phrases there. So look at the meaning. You have two not phrases, like I don't know what the word clauses in English, right? What are the two things there?
There's وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة and then
Yeah,
وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
perfect. So then line do what I said, but line it up with that.
So
وَلِيَدْخُلُونَ. Yeah.
وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
Ahsan. So then what that does is like it also like brings in this idea of taswir al-ma'ani. Like you're not just adding more up and down randomly, but it also lines up with the phrases. So you're like I might even suggest in the ghunna go up. So don't go up like what you did was 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. وَلِيُتَبِّرُوا مَا عَلَوْا تَتْبِيرًا. You can also go up from the ghunna. So I don't know where you start on وَلِيَدْخُلُوا, but let's say وَلِيَدْخُلُوا الْمَسْجِدَ كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَلِيُتَبِّرُوا مَا عَلَوْا تَتْبِيرًا. So then it sounds like, like this point and that point as well.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, try it now.
وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
By the way, both are good. Even your other one, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, is good too. This sort of thing is an art, not really like an exact science. So Let's do this again. So now hit record. Let's do both ayat together. ثم رددنا until here.
ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
أحسن. Sounds good. What do you think?
Should yeah, I think it's my
Yeah, sure.
pleasure.
Play it back. Listen to it. Yeah. Play the first one first. Do you have the both?
Yeah.
Okay, play the first one and then play the second one.
لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا.
So that was just the, oh, you mean play the first
Yeah. Play
original
the
recording.
original, yeah.
Oh, okay. What's this one?
ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
And then the second one.
ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.
أحسنت. Yeah. وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا.